Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus. Certainty Home Lending. Donovan Creative Agency. Stewart Title. The Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. Total Care. PBJ Mortgage. And by Team Watson Redeemers. The Community Difference Frisco.
To serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
All right, welcome everybody. You are watching the North Texas Community Difference Frisco show. Welcome to the show. We have a special one today. I'm excited. We have basically our sports partnerships on highlight today. We are going to put a spotlight on that. We've got a big game coming up tomorrow for one of our major sponsors. That's the Frisco Fighters. So instead of having Coach Coles on, who is our regular co-host, we have Matt Anglin on with that group to come on and talk about that. Really excited to get into that. We also have a ticket giveaway today for the Fighters opener, as well as we'll get into some of the details as we get into the Fighters season. Also have the opportunity to kick off our new sponsorship with the Mesquite Championship Rodeo. So excited to bring that into play here as well. If you haven't watched the show and you haven't seen us, we are a community-based podcast, live stream, radio show, putting the spotlight on local business owners, entrepreneurs, ISD leaders, in this case, Frisco ISD, nonprofit leaders, sports. So we are Sports City USA. That is the feature and focus of our show today. So let's get into it. Nathan Smith is our producer today. Nathan, why don't you bring everybody in and let's say hello to everybody. All right. What's up, gentlemen?
How's it going?
What's happening?
How we doing?
Awesome. Well, hey, great to have you guys on today. The other little curveball we're throwing at you today, our founder, Lendon Wilson, who normally is behind the scenes, is front and center. There we go. The creator of the difference is front and center as a co-host today as well. So obviously instrumental in the entire difference, but instrumental in orchestrating these partnerships. So, guys, hey, like I said, excited to have you guys on. This is, I guess we'll call this the sports show. We do normally have a business topic of the month, and our business topic of March is indeed building partnerships, building culture, and building a team on a local environment. So this really, really fits in well with that theme. Also, it's March Madness. I didn't mention that up front, but I hope you guys out there listening, if you need a break from all the basketball you're going to be watching today and this weekend, hopefully, if you're not tuning in live, please, take a break with us and learn about the local Frisco sports scene. So with that, guys, Matt, I'm going to kick it over to you. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for stepping in.
Thanks for having me.
Really excited about this partnership. We've talked about it for several months. It had been in the works for several months leading up to the Frisco show kickoff. We are on now episode 16. So we are rocking and rolling. The day is finally here tomorrow, right? It's opening day tomorrow. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about the organization, and we'll go around the horn and let everybody introduce themselves. So it's all yours, Matt.
Perfect. Well, firstly, Brian, thanks for having me on, filling in for Coach. Like you said, home opener is tomorrow, so head coach is pretty busy. But little background on the Frisco Fighters. So we are a professional indoor football team. We play up here in Frisco, right at the Comerica Center. and we are run and operated by the Dallas Stars. I was plugged in with the Stars, and about 2 seasons ago, they asked me to hop on board with this Frisco Fighters, new venture that we were taking over. So we do not own the team, but we run all aspects of it. Our owners is a family owned. They live up in Columbus, Ohio. It's the Germains. They own quite a few car dealerships up there and decided to purchase this football team down here in Texas. So they are fantastic people. It's nice to have kind of a mom and pop vibe to our ownership rather than, some massive corporation. But essentially how I got involved was I graduated with my master's at the height of COVID. And so sports weren't hiring. They were mainly shutting down. And so
Lucky you.
Man, it was tough. I thought that, having an undergrad and master's, quite a bit of internship experience would at least get me in the door. But,
hard to get into a door when they're all shut.
Exactly. Didn't work out that way. So I just kind of bounced around for a bit, and I was waiting tables down on Greenville Avenue at this place called Charlie's Creole Kitchen, which any of y'all have ever been, best Cajun Creole food in Dallas. And I was working part-time for the Dallas Stars doing their 50-50 raffle. It's a really cool initiative. What that is, it's essentially they're purchasing lottery tickets, and 50% of the proceeds go to you, 50% goes to a nonprofit through the Dallas Stars Foundation. So I was working part-time behind a kiosk in this neon orange vest, and as trying to be as humble as I could, but I knew that I could do more. And so through that job, I just tried to bug as many managers as I could. They asked, and then finally the day came up where we took over an indoor football team. So they asked me to be a ticket rep for that. I did that for my first year. Second year, I was the manager of sales. So I oversaw all of our sales and season ticket holders. And then going into this third year, they asked me to be the director of corporate partnerships. So more involved on the business to business side rather than business to consumer. So I have been with the team since we took over. I've loved it. It's a challenge building a team, especially in a community like Frisco. Because, I went to Rough Rider games as a child. I went to Texas Legends games as a high school student. There's 1,000 different sports teams out here. So even with the Stars backing, it's interesting trying to build a new sports team. But we are so excited for the start of this season. We're excited to have our quarterback back. He was the MVP of the league, and it all starts up tomorrow night. So would love for everybody to come on out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, heck yeah. 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, Comerica Center, right? Tickets are available, affordable, great thing to do on Friday night. I think it's supposed to be kind of rainy tomorrow, so might be a really nice opportunity to take those kiddos out and check out the Fighters. So, no, that's awesome, man. And, like I said, looking forward to it. We've had a lot of build up to it, and now here it's finally here. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there. I think we've got the sweet tickets. Debbie, hi, Debbie. Thanks for chiming in, one of our co-hosts. She will also be there. Can't wait for the game tomorrow, along with all of us. So as I mentioned up front, I want to keep plugging this. We have a ticket giveaway, right? So we'll go over the rules. If you saw our Facebook posts, to those of us who are co-hosts on the show, there it is right there. Comment, I love football, and then hashtag the person who invited you in the comments, and then hashtag Frisco Fighters. Put that in the comments. You will be entered into the drawing, which will be held after the last commercial break. So, again, comment, I love football. Hashtag the person who invited you or who you saw the post from, and then put hashtag Frisco Fighters in there. All right, so that'll be going throughout the entire show. Drop that in there, whether you're in Facebook, YouTube, drop it in, and you'll be entered into the drawing at the end. Awesome. So let's move on over to your corporate. Actually, I'll let you introduce your corporate partner since you guys have the relationship.
Love to. So one of the really cool things that the Frisco Fighters do is we actually feed all of our players. And we do that through a number of partnerships. And one of our longest corporate food partner, and in my opinion, one of the best because of those amazing cinnamon rolls and pizza, is our good guy, Robert. He works with CC's Pizza. He's the district manager. He oversees quite a few locations. And we're super excited to have him back helping us out. And without further ado, Robert.
Hey, good to be here. Thank you for that, Matthew. My name is Robert Bellibretta. I'm the corporate district manager for CC's Pizza. I've been doing the pizza thing since 2007. Started as a busboy dishwasher, made my way all the way up to the corporate ranks here. So it's been quite a grind and very rewarding. And I oversee the CC's Pizza out in Frisco. So super excited to be here and excited to connect with the community.
Awesome. Well, I've been over to the CC's Pizza in Frisco. My kids have probably spilled a lot on your floors over there.
It's probably me cleaning them up right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So accept my apologies officially on the air here.
Yeah. No worries. That's what we get paid for. I mean, we're doing it all day, every day. I mean, it's part of the game, right? So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks for joining us today. Look forward to hearing more about the CC story too, because it is a unique chain. I call it a chain, but which it is, but it's really hyper locally focused. So, looking forward to diving more deeper into that. And look at Nathan already getting in the action here, getting his name in the hat while producing. He's a man of many talents. Nathan, you back there? You can you talk?
I can talk.
All right, good. I didn't know if you can talk and enter contests and produce at the same time. I'm impressed, my friend.
I can wear many hats.
Nathan, how many times have you produced so far? Like four or five?
Probably four. Yeah.
This is my second time to co-host. This is really it's like I keep wanting to touch the computer to do.
Don't touch anything, Lendon.
I'm not touching anything. I'm leaving it alone.
Yeah, it takes a lot for Lendon to sit still. So with that, Lendon, I'll give you something to do. I'm going to kick it over to you to introduce Caleb and the partnership that we have with the Mesquite Rodeo. So
Absolutely. First, I want to just say to Matthew, we met probably 6 months ago at Total Care, which is one of our sponsors, one of the people that's on the Frisco show. We met at one of their networking events and got a chance to talk. I love football. I am so pleased that we were able to form this partnership with the community show Frisco, and then obviously, marketing all over the DFW area with our other shows. But thank you so much to the fighters for what y'all are doing for our show and helping us bring this information to the community and hopefully let people understand the quality of sports that are available at affordable prices that you may not be getting, with some of those other teams that we won't mention today. So, because this is a Frisco Fighters Day, I want to welcome Caleb. So Caleb was introduced to me by Frank McLeod, which is on our. He's another co-host on our Rockwall show. Frank and I have been friends for quite a while, and I met Caleb actually on a show in Rockwall. Then we were invited out to the rodeo, and got a chance to experience that, which I love rodeo. And as we started kicking these community shows off, Caleb and I started talking, and so we've finalized a partnership there as well. I'm gonna let Caleb talk more about that, but we're happy also to be adding Mesquite Championship Rodeo, which if anybody knows anything about rodeo, this thing has been around for a while, and it's something else. Caleb, welcome. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you, Lendon, for getting me involved with this thing as well. So I've been with Mesquite Rodeo for 10 years now, and talk about community. This rodeo has been built on it for the past 67 years. It started in 1957, running 6 months out of the year, and attracting millions of fans from all over the world. It's a pretty cool thing. We're getting ready to kick off our 67th season this year, starting June 1st and running through August 31st. And if you hadn't been out here, I highly encourage you to. If you've never been to a rodeo, it's pretty much the most patriotic sport you can go to. It's family friendly. It's fun. There's live music, PRCA rodeo action that you just can't get it anywhere else. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm looking forward to the partnership and being a part of the difference.
Awesome. Well, Caleb, thanks for being on today. I think I can officially say that you are the first one of our guest co-hosts, however you want to put it, that's wearing a cowboy hat. So we appreciate that. I expected nothing less, but you delivered, man. That's awesome. Okay, hey guys, thanks for introducing yourselves. Look forward to diving a little bit deeper into the partnership and culture building topic. We do need to take a real quick break here, give some love to our sponsors. Before we do, again, I want to mention the ticket giveaway. Drop those comments in there, as Nathan already did. He put it up on the screen. Drop that hashtag Frisco Fighters in there. Put there it is. I love football. Hashtag whoever sent you. So put my name since you're watching. If you're watching live, put Brian Poduska. I love football. Hashtag Brian. Hashtag Frisco Fighters. And your name will get entered into the ticket giveaway after the last commercial break. So with that, Nathan, let's jump over to the commercial and we'll be back.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Frisco?
All right, welcome back. As you heard in our sounder there, it is time for the What's Up Frisco segment. Since we are highlighting solely the Frisco Fighters opener tomorrow, that is What's Up Frisco. So with that, Matt, why don't you tell us about what's going on tomorrow, all the details. Tell us if you got giveaways, any sort of fun promotions you have related directly to the opener.
For sure. Yeah, so we are actually going to be doing a door giveaway for every single game. Most of them are related to our themes, but for this first game, we are going to be doing, I believe they're called boomsticks. You know, those giant inflatable tubes that you just slam together. Yeah. So we're giving out about 2,000 pairs of those, so be sure to show up early to the game. The game tomorrow is at the Comerica Center. It is directly off the toll road, right next to the Rough Riders Stadium. You would exit Gaylord Parkway. And we play in the same arena that the Texas Legends play. And so game is going to start at 7:30, which means doors are going to open up at 6:30. So be sure to get there. It's going to be a lot of fun. One of the great things about the Frisco Fighters is that it is extremely accessible. Our tickets start at just $15, and we even go lower than that with groups. We offer $10 group tickets. So it is very accessible to everybody. But the main giveaway is going to be the boomsticks tonight. Stay tuned as we release what the giveaway will be leading up to each game.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I'll corral a few extra boomsticks to, take out some punishment on my son. He'll be there as well, so he's looking forward to it as well.
Well, head on a swivel if you guys are in the first two rows. Players do go over. I've seen some kids get knocked out. I mean, not knocked out, but knocked down. So head on a swivel, first two rows. Also, I haven't seen this opposing team's quarterback, so I don't know if he's going to be yucking it into the stands. But if a ball does go into the stands, one of the best things we do is you get to keep it. And so that's really cool. You get to keep an official game ball. And we ordered, I think, 4 different types. So we have a bunch of different colorways. So that's a really cool thing we do. And then just about every team in the league does this. We are no different. But at the end of the game, everybody is welcome onto the field to sign autographs and a player meet and greet along with our cheerleaders as well. So if there's any daughters out there, they're welcome to come out, meet the girls. But that end of the game is always funny because half the field is people meeting the players, getting autographs. The other half is just like a swarm of children playing football, tackling each other, smashing themselves into the pads. Same thing I'd be doing if I wasn't working. So it all works out.
Oh, that's awesome. So, if you guys have an injury and need an injury replacement, that's our time to show our talents, let us shine, just knock over kids afterwards and show our tackles.
Brian, you're welcome to hop the wall at any point, my guy. I will even get you some pads, man. We can get you in there.
All right, man. Well, be careful what you ask for, because that may happen at some point. I do have the height advantage.
We're not going to put you at cornerback. Don't worry. We're not going to make you a liability or anything.
Okay,
maybe,
good.
Kick returner, slot receiver, those kind of things. We'll slide you in.
Okay, awesome. I'll sign you up on that. I'll hold you to it. All right, Ethan, what's up, buddy? I saw you chime in. Thanks for watching, bud. I didn't see if you put the hashtags in, but I'm sure there he goes. Ethan will be there tomorrow as well. One of our other co-hosts, owner of a social media company. So thanks again, Ethan, for tuning in. All right, guys. So obviously the What's Up Frisco segment, the only thing going on tomorrow is the Frisco Fighter opener. So get there at 6:30 when the doors open. Game starts, kickoff 7:30. Sounds like it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Question, Matt,
Yes, sir.
Are there nets up to prevent the ball from going into the stands?
There are nets up behind the field goal.
So
whenever they do kickoffs or extra points, the ball gets caught in the net. Other than that, it's kind of like any other stadium. If you go to a hockey stadium, they have a net up behind the goal. If you go to baseball, they have nets up around the diamond at the very end. So we're the same way. Head on a swivel when you're out there, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, and I've been to that stadium countless times because my son plays hockey there used to play hockey there when the ice was, I'm sure it's still existing, but it's underneath.
Oh, it's still there. Yeah, it's actually a little chilly in the stadium right now because we don't melt the ice until later on once the start season is over. The guys are playing football on top of an ice rink.
Oh, there you go. Added degree of difficulty right there.
Not like the ice football that's been going by. Unfortunately, though, because I'm dying to see that.
No doubt. Awesome. Well, like I said, looking forward to that. I'll see you there tomorrow. What we're going to do right now is just we touched on it up front, right? And that is we've got two local sports entities, organizations, and venues. Caleb, to hear that you guys have been in existence since the 50s, right?
Older than the Cowboys, yes, sir.
There you go. I like that. So that's freaking awesome. What I'd like to hear a little bit more about is, how did you guys come about? How did you guys start? It sounds like you guys have been partnering with the community for a bit, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into that story when we talk about the business topic. But I want to hear a little bit about the history of the Mesquite Championship Rodeo.
Yeah, so it started, like I said, in 1957. We've been around for almost 70 years. I'm 26, so I hadn't been around here that long, but I've been here 10 years, and I've gotten to be a part of it in a whole different types of capacities. I started in parking and concessions and doing the arena ops side, and eventually just worked my way into the marketing and corporate partnerships. And I think that's fun because you get to see just a different side of the history of it on what built it. Like you talk about legacy and some partners, Wrangler's been with us for 65 years. So they've been involved in this for quite a while. And I think my why, that the reason I'm here and why I want to grow Mesquite Rodeo so much is Dallas isn't really Dallas anymore. It's kind of turning into an LA. When you talk about Dallas to somebody that's from outside of the Metroplex, they think cowboy hats, or better yet, outside of the state, they think cowboy hats, and everybody's got an accent, and we all wear boots and a belt buckle, which I do every day. Don't judge me. But my biggest goal is trying to preserve that Western way of life in Dallas, and I think I speak for our whole 4-person committee that puts this on every year. That's our why. We want to grow the sport of rodeo right here, and I think getting new partners on board every year and showing them why it's important and why people should know why we exist, like how Texas used to be, like ranching, rodeo, farming, patriotism, and just it's hard to explain, but it's
Caleb. Caleb, I wanted, because I know you guys do a lot for kids out there, and you
Sure.
keep the kids involved. I saw an interview, and you'll know this. I wished I knew more about it, but there was a person that took over, I think, the PBR circuit or something like that, and they're not the whole objective, but one of the things that they wanted to be able to do was get kids more involved, because that's how you keep a sport alive. That's what happened with
Absolutely.
golf. When Tiger Woods came through and kids start getting involved, the sport grows. And so I do want you to talk about what's available for kids. Matt, I know that, with the fighters, it's the same thing. I mean, this is a family deal that and if you're sitting there with your kid and you got to keep your head on a swivel, you're in the game. You're in the
Right.
game. You're not just sitting somewhere watching. But I want to get y'all's thought on building a culture, right? Many times it starts with the younger ones, and they're part of that as they grow up, and then they're able to continue um, that culture and that legacy.
That's a good point. Yeah, so around Dallas, especially, and going out towards Rockwall and Terrell, there's a lot of youth rodeo organizations, Lone Star High School being one of them. And then, of course, you got National High School Rodeo Association. A lot of those guys end up rodeoing at these smaller rodeos, and Mesquite considers itself the proving grounds, right? So people like Tuff Edeman, people like Cody Lambert, people like Mason Taylor, who's one of the biggest names in PBR right now, grew up here as a kid, and it's easy to get involved because you can go to these smaller rodeos, get good, come out here, maybe not so much be involved in the PRCA side of it, but ride for exhibition and get your points and get started in the professional rodeo industry. I know one of the biggest ones we have right now that's directly involved with us is the International Youth Miniature Bull Riding Association. So these kids are actually in our event every rodeo, and it's kids from 6 years old to 16 that come out here and ride these bulls. I mean,
Yeah,
granted, they're not all ranked. There's some that are calmer than others, but I mean, it's there's a lot of community involvement in growing up and getting involved in the sport of rodeo, if that makes sense.
yeah, it does. That's the one thing that I thought was so cool the first time I was out there. And, I looked down and I saw some of these smaller bulls. Now, I can say that because I was a long ways away from them, but they didn't look as big and mean as some that the other guys were on. And then all of a sudden, you got this 9-year-old, this 10-year-old, 11, 12, 16 riding these bulls. Now, they're not the big, bad, ugly ones, but they're not walking around, at a slow pace either. And so I didn't
Absolutely.
really know that was part of rodeo. I didn't know you could start that young.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And like you touched on a little bit ago, it's growing the sport. Those types of organizations definitely help people recognize that rodeo is a sport and it deserves all the recognition that comes with it.
Well, that's awesome. That's I love the why that you said there, Caleb. The keeping Texas, Texas, right? And it's funny, or keeping Dallas, keeping Dallas, Dallas. When we have, so I'm part of the reason Dallas is not wearing cowboy hats. I was relocated here for work 12 years ago, so I like to consider myself a Texan now. But I'm up from the cold north, Chicago. But every time we have family members come into town, we'll take them over to Fort Worth to go to the stockyards, right?
I see how it is.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
messing.
So now we're changing that. We'll come out to Mesquite. Instead of going west, we'll go east because we're here in Frisco. So we're right in the middle.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great history. Love that, and love the fact that you've had Wrangler as a partner for it sounds like as long as you've been in existence. That's pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about the Frisco Fighters. So
Brian, real quick, I wanted to a comment that just popped up with Debbie, one of our co-hosts. We didn't know this, and this is what I love about these shows is we start to learn so much about everybody that we didn't know. She was a rodeo queen in senior high school, so you just never know where those roots run, right?
And if you don't know, Debbie's also a singer. I don't know if the rodeo queen sings as well, but talk about multi-talented. Jeez, that's It's impressive. So let's go over to the fighters and let's talk about CC's as well. Guys, as far as the partnership goes, and so we talked, Matt, a little bit about the fighters. They've been in existence for several years, right? You've been on board, sounds like, since day one or close to it. So not a ton of history there, but I love the aspect of where you guys are coming from and what you're trying to do community-wise. So let's talk a little bit more about that, the grassroots efforts that you guys are doing. We've got a break in about 5 minutes, but I think that should be enough time to talk about that. And then if we don't fit it in, I do want to understand CC's and how you guys have come about. I'm assuming you started smaller and then have expanded. So I'd love to hear the story about that. But Matt, why don't you start with the fighters and then we'll get over to CC's.
Yeah, so I actually run all of our nonprofit work, sometimes to the dismay of some of my managers. We are in the profit-driven world, I'm sure all of you know. So I got my background in that. I worked with the American Red Cross out in West Texas, and my background was event planning. So I did a bunch of restaurant fundraisers, kickbacks, a lot of different things in the nonprofit sphere. And so I went into college without really having a direction. I didn't know what my degree was. I was undecided for the longest time. And then I just kind of came up with the idea of sports is being the best avenue to help out local nonprofits. In my mind, if I was to hold a blood drive, you could get a couple hundred people out there. But if the Dallas Cowboys hosted a blood drive, they'd get a couple thousand. And so with that in mind, I got my degrees in sports management and always wanted to give back to whatever community I found myself in. Turns out it was this great community of Frisco, close to home. I'm from Dallas. And so I run our nonprofit work, and we select 8 nonprofits, 1 per home game, to give about $10,000 worth of sponsorship assets to. That include things like commercial presence during the game, getting our football players to go and volunteer with these nonprofits. And it ranges from hyper local nonprofits to like Refresh Frisco, Ladder House Decor, to national nonprofits like Carry the Load, the YMCA. And so as far as our nonprofit work, that's kind of the gist of what we do. And it has grown quite a bit. And it's kind of like, we said what our why is. That truly is one of my whys, is helping out the local nonprofits and finding ways to just make a bigger impact in the community we're in.
I absolutely love that. And that's, as I mentioned up front, that's one of the pillars of the show, right? So we have a foundational pillar of 5 different things: business owners, entrepreneurs, sports leadership, ISD leadership, and most importantly, that nonprofit piece. So that you've got 2 pillars right there. And that's awesome. You're utilizing something that, we're self-proclaimed sports nerds on the show. We've said it many times. At one point last year, we had a sports themed show running for a good 6-month run or so during the football season, and then shortly afterward. So I love that, tying in the sports aspect, especially here in Sports City, USA, Frisco, to help the nonprofit community. So that's fantastic. Robert, I'd like to dive into CC's a little bit here, but you know what? We do need to take a break. So let's do this. On the backside of the break, let's dive into CC's a little bit. Before we do go to break, I want to make sure we mention this again. What's up, Ethan? Little Hearts of Hope.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. We love Little Hearts of Hope. They're great people.
Awesome. Thanks for mentioning that, Ethan. There it is. So the Frisco Fighters ticket giveaway. So we've talked about it before. Hashtag Frisco Fighters. Hashtag the person who notified you or who you saw that giveaway through. If you're in doubt, just put my name. That helps my odds in winning a trip of some sort. So selfishly, go ahead and put my name if you're clueless on that. But throw that in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube. Put it in there. After the last commercial break, we're going to do the drawing. With that, though, Nathan, take us to commercial break, and we'll get into CC's in the back end.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
JP Direct Health offers affordable health insurance solutions for individuals, families, and small businesses specializing in custom coverages to fit your needs and budget. JP Direct Health offers comprehensive benefits, including PPO health plans, accident and critical illness coverage, dental and vision, health matching accounts, along with telehealth at no cost per call. Call JP Direct Health today to learn more about how we can help you protect your health and your budget.
Do you want your home or office to sparkle? Then call Elite Diamond Cleaning today. From basic cleaning to deep cleaning, and using only the highest quality cleaning products and equipment, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Our team of experienced cleaners will work quickly and efficiently to clean every nook and cranny, taking care of all the details so you don't have to. With a variety of pricing options to fit any budget, you can be sure that you are getting the best possible price. Call Elite Diamond Cleaning today at 214-300-9876 to schedule a free estimate. Your home and office is a diamond. Let us get it out of the dust.
Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party. Frisco Fighters, fly with us.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111. Are you a business owner looking to grow your company? Get fast, easy financing up to $5 million with no minimum FICO score required. Apply in 60 seconds and get funded in 24 hours. Call Jim Thomas at 214-629-7223 to talk to a financing professional today. Your business's future is waiting. So don't delay. Call now and tell him that you saw him on The Difference.
And now back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to from March Madness. If you're watching, a quick tournament update. 2 of the 3 games that's already concluded have been upsets. So Duquesne, 11 seed Duquesne took down BYU, the 6 seed. This one's not really an upset. Michigan State, number 9 seed, took down Mississippi State, an 8 seed. Any Illini fans out there right now, they have a 5-point lead in their game. So there's your March Madness update.
How's the Razorbacks doing?
We'll talk CC's Pizza and get into that. All right, Robert, tell me about CC's. How did it start? Like what? Before you do, I love that intro that you gave about yourself. You started, at the lower levels and have worked your way up in the company. Caleb, you did the same thing. Matt, you did the same thing. I love that. That's a common thread with all you guys. You're kind of like on, in on the ground floor, fully understand the culture. So we'll dive a little bit into that later and how that impacts the culture discussion. But Robert, tell me about CC's. How'd you guys start? I'm always curious because it's a fun place to go, right? And a place to eat. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so CC's is fun. I think everybody has memories of CC's. The spinach pizza, macaroni and cheese, the Alfredo, and of course the cinnamon rolls, right? CC's, believe it or not, has been around close to 40 years now. 1985, CC's opened its door. It started by 2 guys named Mike Cole and Joe Croce. So the C and the C, right? And ever since then, I don't know the original price. When I came on board, we were like $3.99 buffet. Everybody still kind of brings that up. Oh, remember when CC's was $3.99 back in the early 2000s. But that's how it started. It's always been a buffet, pizza, pasta, salad. Our whole thing is TBPVA, which means the best pizza value anywhere. So whatever we can do to get out in the community and help with that, we do like to connect with schools, sports teams, youth organizations, churches. It is really a family restaurant, right? A community restaurant. And that's kind of a little bit of the background there. We've also started just a little self promo here. It's called a Piezilla. So it is a 28-inch pizza, huge beast. I mean, we not us, none of the corporate stores, but some of the franchisees were actually doing competitions with the Piezilla. If you could come in with a friend and under like 30 minutes or whatever, if you can knock out this huge 28-inch pizza, you'd win a prize or whatever. But I would love to, everybody on this call would love to donate a Piezilla to each of you guys there. Shout out from CC's from Frisco there. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit about us. Like I said, we do have a location on Preston and Lebanon, which is the one I oversee. That one is where I actually got my first general manager opportunity. And it was doing really well. And then when COVID happened, it hit a lot of restaurants, a lot of businesses. And it really affected us as a buffet concept. And we had to close the doors down, unfortunately, a few months into COVID. We just reopened that location last year, February of 2023. And it kind of seems like the community forgot about us, being closed for 3 years. And we are kind of hidden in the back of the shopping center there. Sales did start off a little slow, but we just started doing our community outreach. We started partnering up with people like the fighters here. We've done some stuff with FC Dallas, the Texas Legends. We've done stuff with them as well. And slowly but surely, the people are kind of trickling back into the restaurant, and we're actually doing better now than we were pre-pandemic. So that's amazing.
Hey, Robert, you mentioned the Alfredo pizza. Do y'all still have the chicken Alfredo?
Still got the chicken Alfredo. You throw some mushrooms on there,
God,
maybe some jalapenos, and that hits the spot. Yeah.
All right, Lendon, the challenge is now, the gauntlet is being thrown by me. You and me can hammer back. Can you and me hammer back a Piezilla of chicken Alfredo pizza?
Each or
no,
together?
Well, Robert, it sounds like it's not even humanly possible to eat one person to eat one pizza. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I've seen people try, and unfortunately, it doesn't end well.
I mean, I can eat a lot. I may not look like it, but I can eat a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to bite off that much, though.
I'm telling you, there was a time and place I could have done it. I really believe I could. I don't know that I could now. I like to tell myself I could, but with age, you start to realize all the things you think you can do, you can't do anymore. But
we might have a couple linemen that could.
Hey,
for a run for money. We got some boys. We got some big boys out here that might.
Yeah, I remember last year. Because we started the partnership with the fighters last year through, I believe it was the assistant head coach reached out to the restaurant, or I'm not really sure how it happened. But the GM called me. He's like, "Hey man, these guys want to partner up with us." I was like, absolutely, let's get our name back out in the community. But I did see some of those players come in for lunchtime when we would feed them. Some big boys. Yeah. Real big boys. But yeah, they could probably knock out a Piezilla. So,
well, when your corporate team is looking at marketing investments, they probably factored in the weight of the offensive line of the Frisco Fighters into exactly how much that's going to cost.
Yep.
And I'd like to see how that's tracking versus what they estimate. Well, that's awesome. And I'm glad you. That is going to root us on. Lendon, I don't know who the betting favorite in Vegas would be, but I think we could handle it, number one. But then the question is, who's going to eat more? So I don't know.
We just get two things going. Can we do it? And if we do it, who carries the load? That's the thing. So
all right.
Hey, you let me know when you want to do it, and I'll deliver it myself to you guys.
Awesome. Well, we may have to get that on one of the shows.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I love it. The eat off on like the Coney Island pizza eat off here.
Maybe Matt could help us go live from Comerica one day, and we could just do that and run a show from there.
There we go.
Should y'all just have it in the suite tomorrow night, man?
Well, yeah, we could do that too. That's but then that could ruin my whole weekend. I mean, I want to make sure that if I do this and it doesn't turn out well, I got some recovery days.
Well, it should clear out your system in a day or so. You'll be okay. All right. On that note, we do need to take a quick break, guys. On the back end, I want to get into the partnership aspect. So we'll come back and let Caleb talk about, and Lendon, I'd like you guys to talk a little bit about, the Mesquite Championship Rodeo and Difference partnership. We'll get into a little bit more, guys, on the CC's and Frisco Fighters partnership. Before we break, I do want to again mention, don't forget, put in hashtag Frisco Fighters, put in hashtag I love football, put in my name, and you'll get invited or entered into a drawing after our final commercial break. So want to make sure you guys are doing that if you're watching. With that, Nathan, let's take us off to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens, we want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose. The Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe and support The Difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc., to join us in making the difference in helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And we'll transition to the segment of the show where we dive into our topic a little bit. And we've already kind of touched on it, but the monthly business topic is building a team, building a culture, and fostering that culture and partnership in a local environment. So couldn't be more excited to have you guys on the show today to talk about that, since that's exactly what you guys have been doing in the community here. So tell us what makes the relationship work. And Lendon and Caleb, it sounds like you guys met, through mutual friends, networking events. Tell us how that came about. I'd heard kind of secondhand a little bit, just being part of the difference. Lendon mentioned going over to the Mesquite Rodeo. I think I was supposed to go one of those nights, and I got tied up on something. So tell us how that came about.
Well, we got the Rockwall show going, and Frank McLeod with Minuteman Press invited Caleb on. And so got to listen to Caleb's story, what's going on with Mesquite Rodeo. Everybody that's been in Texas for any period of time knows about the Mesquite Championship Rodeo and all the cowboys that have come through there. And I'm talking about some big name cowboys. When you walk through the area, that they've got pictures on the wall, guys, of Ronald Reagan and people. And as a matter of fact, The Rock was out there just 2 weeks ago, Caleb?
Last week, yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Really?
that place is historic.
Badass.
It's historic. It really is. And so, got to go to the rodeo, and to Caleb's point earlier, the first thing that impressed me was the patriotism that goes on there. Unfortunately, in a lot of sports, That's kind of been put to the side. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's the way it is. Patriotism is on point, and it's front and center out there. And you get that sense of community. You really do. I mean, everybody is united around their sport and the freedoms that they have that were created to do that sport. And so it just reminded me of, why we're doing the community shows. And I wanted to talk to Caleb about being able to bring the awareness of what's going on out there to our audience. Same with Matt and the stars. I've said this a million times. If anybody's ever listened, most businesses don't struggle or fail because of a bad product or service. They struggle or fail because not enough people knew who they were, what they were doing, and where they were doing it. And so through social media and through collaborating, again, that culture, that collaboration, we can bring awareness, because if we all share our communities, we all share our crowds, we all share our audiences, then we get to share and bring the attention to, CC's Pizza and CC's Pizza working with the Frisco Fighters benefits them both. They get that awareness. And so, if we want to keep these local activities within our community, you hear so many people complain all the time, well, there's nothing to do here. There's plenty to do here. You may not know about it, but there's plenty to do in our communities. Frisco is unbelievable with what's going on there. And so we want to bring that to the residents of each community that we have these shows in, that there's a lot going on. It's affordable. You're not just some ticket buyer. The giveaways that the Frisco Fighters do, and the activities that they have around the football game, and the same thing with the rodeo. I want the people in these communities to understand that it's being done for them, right? It's not this huge mega revenue generating concept. It's about the community and providing entertainment for the community. And so that's why I like partnering with these guys. I know that's probably not speaking for Robert, but I'm sure that's why he likes being a part of it too. It's just another way we can plug into the community.
Absolutely.
No, I love that. And I mean, as far as synergy partners go and what we're all about here at The Difference, couldn't have found a better partner. And that rings true with the Frisco Fighters too. Matt, I mean, I know how our relationship came about, but being in the field now of developing those corporate sponsorships and partnerships, tell us how the CC's relationship came about, and then tell us a little bit about some of your other corporate sponsorships that you guys have as well. Want to give them as much love as we can on the show.
Sorry, I have myself on mute.
That's all right. You're not the first to do that.
Right.
I'm sure I won't be the last either.
No, you won't.
So I actually ran all of ticket sales. Like I said earlier, I was the manager of sales. And so I'd say around September-ish is when I got moved over onto the sponsorship side of things. And so I did not foster this relationship with CC's, but I'm the one who kind of took up the mantle. And the biggest difference between ticket sales and sponsorship is that it's gray. Ticket sales is very black and white. Season tickets are this amount, it's this amount, this is what you get. When it comes to sponsorship, it's not as generic like that. It's more unique. You're working with a company that might have a bigger emphasis on community involvement, or you're working with a company that has a bigger emphasis on driving revenue. And so when it comes to these sponsorships, it's really more relationship based than it is, I would say, like asset based. And so especially when it comes with our food training partners and the people that are helping us feed these guys, they're integral to the success of our team. If we don't feed our guys, they're not going to play well. And so I think it goes past just the normal business to business relationship. Our guys are excited to see CC's. And so it is unique. in this new role that I have. But as far as our relationship with CC's, I think it just makes sense. You know, we have a bunch of guys that get to try this amazing food, and at the same time, they get a whole bunch of sponsorship assets and they get advertising. So I really do like our food training partner relationships. I think they work out just kind of a lot better.
Yeah, and Robert, you mentioned it earlier that you're trying to get traction after you guys have opened after COVID. So it sounds like you're doing it at the grassroots community level, which is awesome. How did you get in touch with or figure out Frisco Fighters was a good avenue to establish that?
So like I said, the general manager, I think that the assistant coach called the store and was just looking for a partnership. So I kind of gave him, reins on that. I just kind of organized, hey, here's what we can do for you guys, and those kind of details. But Matthew actually reached out to me last year, right, late last year, and was like, hey, man, I'm taking over. Can we do this, this, and this? And he actually brought so much more awareness to our brand than we had last year. So I'm really appreciative of that. Because now we got I think you call them the dash pads, right? That go on the side.
Oh man, I spent about 4 hours installing all those in our stadium yesterday. Just wait till you see yours, man. It looks great.
Yeah, so we got that. He got the whole third down chant for defense, sponsored by CC's Pizza. So all this awareness just really benefits us as well. And then also, just feeding the players and building those relationships with them, because they've maybe never come to CC's Pizza, and now they see all the good food that we do have, and also we upgraded all our game rooms and stuff, so they have families and kids. Now they're like, hey, let's go back to CC's, and then they kind of spread the word, because the best marketing is a word of mouth. So I'm blessed that Matthew reached out and was wanted to keep the partnership alive for another year, and hopefully many other years.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, and
Brian,
awesome.
I had one question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, fire away.
And you touched on it before, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but you talked about Caleb and how he's worked himself up through the ranks. Robert did the same thing. Matthew's done the same thing. In the culture we have today, where there's a mentality sometimes that people don't want to put in that work. They don't want to climb the ladder. They want to start here rather than, make the journey that you did. Would y'all share a little bit about your thoughts on how that impacts culture? I mean, when you've got a group of people that have worked from here to the top together, it's kind of like a sports team, right? You think about the Bulls back in the day, and they were struggling with the Pistons, and they kept going and they kept building, and then all of a sudden they started winning. Share your thoughts with our audience on how you think that helps strengthen or maybe not strengthen a culture.
Yeah, sure. So like you said, I started from the bottom. So I really got instilled at an early age. I started at 16 years old. My first job, CC's Pizza. We have a leap over the counter mentality to our guests. And that was just kind of instilled in our culture back then, right? You see a mom come in with a bunch of kids, she's carrying a kid here. Hey, can I offer to carry your plate and stuff like that? So you bring that up, and then you try to show the next generation that, but you also touched on it. It kind of seems like this new generation doesn't want to do all that. They want instant gratification. So you got to kind of find a way to level set with them and show them that culture that you learned back in the day, and to teach them. So we do have a couple of tactics that we use that we could talk about a little bit later on how to do that. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
Real quick,
go ahead, Brian.
Real quick, Michelle Burleson just commented on their friend of the program. There you go. So start that booking right now with Michelle's son's birthday party. So there we go. All right. Matt, you were saying something.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what y'all were asking about. I actually host quite a few sports panels with the SMU Sports Society. It's essentially a club for sports management students. I love doing that just because I know how hard it is to talk to somebody that's finally broken through. Because in my industry in sports, everybody and their mama wants to work in sports. And I know it's a cliche thing to hear, but it's about who you know, not what you've done. And it could not be more true for working in the sports industry. And unfortunately for me, I didn't know anybody. And so one of the things I tell these kids that I talk to on these sports panels is that truthfully, getting a master's, getting 2 degrees, and getting all the internships I had, that's not what got me a job. It really wasn't. What got me the job was working the 50-50 raffle, doing this, kind of grunt work. And I just had knee surgery, and I was walking up and down the American Airlines Center every single game and then leaving and going waiting tables. I hated it. It's not where I pictured myself after getting a master's degree, but it just goes to show that if you get your foot in the door and you put in the work, good things are going to come your way. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I think that's very important. Sometimes you just got to get through those awful months, take your licks, and just know it's around the corner.
Let me ask one question. I know we got to go to break here pretty soon, but I do have one question. And Caleb, I'm not trying to cut you off. You can start with this. When you put that much time and that much sweat equity into your growth, how much does that bond you to the company you're working on? We see so much turnover all the time. And then, right, I got this job today. I'm going to go over, bigger, better deal comes along tomorrow. I'm going over there, bigger, better deal. And you just keep bouncing. And how does that impact you guys as far as your loyalty to the company that you've worked your way up through? Caleb, I'd like for you to address that.
Yeah, I'll take that. I've like Matthew, I've been in sports for a long time. I'm getting my MBA through the UNT sports management program with the Cowboys right
Great
now.
program. Great program.
But like I said, I've been with Mesquite for 10 years. And I think when you go and you start young and you learn the culture of the company and people that come and what the company values, you definitely have that brand loyalty to that company. Like, I can't tell you how many times something's gone wrong here and it's like, oh, I'm going to leave tomorrow. I'll go somewhere else. But it just doesn't work like that. I mean, you got to start from the bottom all over again. It's hard, but I mean, to answer your question, I guess, yeah, when you stay here so long, you do develop that loyalty to not only the company, but the partners and the people that make it all happen as well. If that answered your question, I hope it did.
It does. Great job.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, Lendon, on the, being a local small company, community focused company. I think that bears so much more weight. The duration and it's a two-way street as far as longevity and how long an employee stays there, as long as the company's loyal. Some of these big conglomerates, you feel like just a number, but with a lot of these, smaller local enterprises, you don't get that feel. And that's what I'm getting from all of you guys on the show today, is that there's a reason you've been there for as long as you have.
And their hard work's appreciated.
Yeah, you work your butts off, and it's appreciated by the folks who either own the company or run the company. So there's something to be said for that. Well, hey guys, real quick, we got to take a break. I guess we'll call last call for the ticket raffle. So again, if you haven't already done so and you're still watching the show, drop in the comments either on Facebook, YouTube, hashtag Frisco Fighters, hashtag Brian. One more reminder. And what else am I missing? That's it, right? Hashtag Frisco Fighters and I love football, right? Drop any and all those in the comments and you will be entered. With that, let's hit the commercial break and we'll be back, do some rapid fire and do the ticket raffle.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
All right, there's their sounder for the rapid fire segment. We will get into that here briefly. Real quick note on the tickets. We're having some technical difficulties with our randomizer. So what we're going to do, instead of making a biased decision, because we're all about equal opportunity here, we are going to roll the drawing over to next week, which opens a window up for anybody who's watching the show in syndication, because after an hour, the show does go out to all these different podcasting sites. If you're watching it on any of those and you're watching it on either Facebook, YouTube, go ahead and drop in the comments. So it's basically we're opening it up to more and more people. So go ahead and drop in the comments the hashtag Frisco Fighters, I love football, and whoever brought you to the show. And if you don't know who that is, it's me, Brian. So that gives you more opportunity. So if you're watching in syndication, still comment, because that'll get you into the drawing. We'll do it live next week once we get this randomizer thing figured out. Part of the benefits of doing a live radio show, folks, we're we rely on technology a lot on here. We screw up all the time. What you see is what you get. So this is a prime example of what that is. Things don't.
I do want to add to that, Brian, that with the generosity of the Frisco Fighters and what they have gifted us to be able to share with the community, we have already, because we've had 3 shows this week already, we've already given away 98% of them. So it's not like there's not going to be people in the seats watching the game and having a great time.
Well, yeah. So, which means that makes this ticket giveaway even a hotter commodity, because you've only got 2% left. All right. Well, awesome. With that, let's do rapid fire. So this is a segment where we just have a little bit of fun. I'm going to ask you guys a question. We'll go around the horn to the best of your ability. Answer the question, and if it's an off the wall answer, I might ask you to go deeper on it. But the whole idea is rapid fire, so we're just gonna go. This was an easy one, and I've asked about in previous shows, but it's a warmer up or softball question for you. I have a feeling I don't know the answer to most of you guys, but the question is beach or mountains? Real simple. Beach or mountains? Matthew, we'll start with you.
Mountains.
Mountains. Caleb.
I'm going mountains.
Yeah, I knew that one was coming. Robert.
Mountains. I'm from El Paso, Texas.
Amen. Lendon.
Mountains. Clean sweep.
All right. Well, clean sweep, because I'm right there with you. All right. This one's a little more tricky. If you had to go without one or the other, would you go without air conditioning in the state of Texas here, air conditioning, or the internet? Lendon, go.
I'd go without the internet. I'm not going without air conditioning in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, no internet for sure. I can't be sweating like that.
Okay. All right. Caleb?
I'm going internet too. No internet.
Okay. Matthew?
Definitely internet. I lived without AC for about a year in Lubbock, Texas through a summer, and I will never do that again.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'll go without AC. That's as long as you stay hydrated, I'm doing it. I'd give it a go.
Go a year without AC in Lubbock, Texas, and we'll see what you say.
Well, that's true. I've never lived in Lubbock, but yeah. All right, Michelle, we got your beaches comment. All right, here's a good one. Since we have all gentlemen on the show, if you're dying and you need to be saved and you need a superhero, Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel, who's it going to be? Matthew.
Captain Marvel. She can fly, right? So, probably help me out a little bit more.
All right, Caleb.
I'll probably go the same.
Oh. Robert.
Oh, Wonder Woman. Gotta go Wonder Woman. Come on, she's classic, and it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm going Wonder Woman too.
Lendon?
Wonder Woman.
Okay, I'm a little glitchy. I'm sorry, guys. My screen's a little behind.
All right. It looks like we lost Brian, so I'm going to go ahead and take over, finish this up. First of all, before we do, I'm going to do one more and then we'll wrap up a little bit and tell everybody how to get in touch with ourselves. Last question on rapid fire. What is the worst thing to put on pizza, Matthew?
That's tough.
You got that many?
I mean, I really don't hate pineapple that much on pizza, so like it's a little tough. I have seen someone put syrup once. So I think I'm gonna have to go with syrup. Yeah. Somebody wanted a sweet pizza. It's gross to watch.
Yeah, that would. All right, Caleb, what about you?
I'm going pineapple all the way. Fruit shouldn't be on.
See, like it can be good.
Lenny, can I chime in?
Yeah.
Anchovies. I don't even know why that's a real thing that people eat.
Yeah, I don't either. Brian, what about you? Worst thing on pizza?
Oh, worst thing on pizza? Oh gosh. Yeah. Sorry guys, I got kicked out of the studio, but I'm glad to be back on this question. I'm gonna have to go with pineapple. It's just against the rules.
All right, so here we go. Now we got Robert sitting right here, the king of pizza.
Pizza guru.
Robert,
all right,
Robert. Y'all, CC's is known for doing all kinds of things with pizza. What's the worst thing you think you can put on pizza?
You know what? I used to say anchovies. I'll come back to that. I have nothing against pineapple. Somebody mentioned syrup. I think Matthew mentioned syrup might be the worst thing. There might be a chicken and waffle pizza coming to CC's. I don't know. Maybe you heard it here first. Like I said, so I used to say anchovies, but we did have a guest come in and they would always order an anchovy pizza with pineapples. So that's probably the two worst things, right? So I finally tried it, and it was actually pretty good.
Robert, come on,
the
buddy.
Sweet and sour, or the sweet and the saltiness. I mean, it's just a chef's kiss kind of thing.
You might lose some pizza credibility within your pizza world, buddy. You better watch what you say.
But
man.
I'll put it this way: you can't go wrong with anything. Any of the ingredients at CC's.
There we go.
However you want it. Yep. Yes, sir.
That's why I wanted to do this one, because I wanted to tee you up. I knew you were going to do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, all right. Well, Lendon, I appreciate you stepping in there. Well, my technical glitching was going on. I think I'm stable now, and we are out of time. We've got 2 minutes left, so I don't want to just cut off without letting you guys, again, share your information, share who you are, who you're with. Again, thank you guys for being on the show during this month. This is the timing couldn't be better with the business topic, the culture, the partnership aspect that you guys have. CC's Frisco Fighters, Mesquite Championship Rodeo, and the difference. I mean, this is perfect. So thank you for being on. I'm going to let you guys go around the horn real quick. We'll let the guests go first. Caleb, let's start with you, and then we'll go to Robert, then Matthew, and Lendon. So Caleb, who are you? Who are you with, and how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, so again, I'm Caleb Thomas with Mesquite Championship Rodeo. We'll be picking up June 1st, going through August 31st this season. If you've been out here before, you're in for a treat. It's going to be a whole different animal. I'm looking forward to starting the podcast here in Mesquite with Lendon and our partnership. If you need to get a hold of me, my contact information is down there below on the screen. Give me a call. We'll hook you up with some tickets or whatever you want to do. But other than that, we hope to see you out here, and I appreciate it again. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, appreciate you. All right, since Matthew's up on the screen, go for it.
Yeah, I'm Matthew. I'm the director of corporate partnerships with the Frisco Fighters. We're a professional indoor football team, local here in Frisco, play at the Comerica Center. Our season's going to go from March to about August. If you need to get a hold of me, my email is at the bottom, mengland@dallasstars.com.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. And Robert.
All right, Robert Bellibretta, corporate CC's, your local CC's here in Frisco. Phone number and emails scrolling down on the bottom there. anybody's listening today, I'm actually going to be in Frisco today at that location. Come in, say you saw the show, and I will hook you guys up with a free buffet and a game card.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Go.
Love it.
Nice.
Well, Lendon, you want to say goodbye?
Yeah, I'll say goodbye. First of all, I want to thank Matthew and the Frisco Fighters for the partnership. Caleb, thank you so much for the partnership we put together with there to do so much for the rodeo, do so much for the community of Mesquite, all the communities around here, bringing this entertainment to them. Robert, kudos to you and CC's for, being part of that community thing as well, because, our one of our slogans, one of our taglines is together we can make the difference. And as long as we're coming together like this, we strengthen ourselves, we expand our brands, and that's what it's all about. So I want to thank everybody for watching. We will be giving away tickets every week to the Frisco Fighters, and as season gets closer, to the Mesquite Championship Rodeo as well. So thank you all for watching. Remind your friends to watch the show. There's so many things that we can do. If you've got someone that might be a good guest on the show, reach out to Brian, myself, Nathan in the back, and let us know. And because we want to bring on the people that are impacting our communities in the most positive ways. So, Brian, anything else?
No, man, you said it all very well. What I will say is, have a safe weekend, have a happy weekend. Come to the Frisco Fighters game tomorrow. When you're not at the Fighters game, watch that basketball, enjoy March Madness. And until next week, same time, we'll see you then. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching today's show. The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by
Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, Head Coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team.